or trader at techtrader.com. It's Thursday, May the 2nd. These are the charts of the day. And on Thursdays, we always do our swing trade review, so let's do it. Starting with one of our short swing recommendations, ADSK, which when it broke here, we put a swing on it in the 240, mid 240s, eventually dropping about 40 points to get down to 206, bounced from the wedge, and it's coming down again. And to me, I don't know if this is done until at least that's 192.3. That's how this looks. And alongside CGC, it popped, pulled back, and when it broke out, we put a swing on it. It then popped to resistance, backed off, and then 2 days ago, it just exploded and took out both of my targets in one day, from 8 to 14.92. My target was, I think it was 10 and 14. But in any case, it's pulled back subsequently. It's at support, so we got to be careful here. If you haven't sold it, which you probably should have on that spike, I'd like to see it back and fill and set up for another wave that takes it up to 20. CGEM is doing great. After popping and pulling back, it went vertical from 15.29 to 29.12, 14 points, nearly doubling in a week. Now it's consolidating right in this area. Some support at 25.5. Your target's 31.33. COYA has been now consolidating for 7 weeks. It's been doing it in a very consolidated manner. It's below the 50, however, but above the trend line. So this pattern either is a bear flag or it's the apex or end of a multiple wave consolidation that could lead into the mid-teens. CPNG, pop, pull back, and then breakout. We put a swing on it, and today it did pull back and then snap right back again. So the overall look of this one is a very sharp rising angle of ascent there. And there. Now, I don't know if it's going to be able to get to the next level, but my target's 26. CRTO exploded. We put a swing on it and then pulled back. And actually, we bought it on the pullback. And to me, it was a really nasty pullback. And it doesn't matter that it pulled back. It's just a question of how far it pulls back at this point. But I'm not going to tolerate anything under, say, 34. Your target is 42 and 46.7. CXAI, now after it exploded and pulled back, we put a swing on it. It broke out. That's the day we put the swing on it, but never followed through and backed off. So in essence, technically it broke support here, but it formed a flag. Now, if that flag is at support, fine, but if it breaks down, it's over. You have to stop this one under 3.15. If it breaks out 4.5, 5.5, and 7, all targets, potentially. DTSS, after popping and pulling back, has tried to go again. I put a swing on it, but it didn't break out and get through, keep resistance in 9 3/4. If it does that, then it's off to the races 12, 13, 15. But for now, it's at the apex of a large coil. We're not going to tolerate a move below 6 3/4. ELF on the short side, snapped back to resistance, failed, and it's pulled back to support. If it fails underneath this level, 154, targets 145 and 133. That's the short. E2 broke out. We put a swing on it. It's backed off a little. But the overall pattern of a V bottom, a run up, and now I have multi-month coil and breakout tells me that we have a good shot at getting this to 5 3/4 and 6 3/4. EVER exploded, broke out, and then really popped. But then it backed off to retest. It did it successfully, ran up to resistance, retested one more time the trend line at the 50. And now it's broken back out again, taken out an ascending bull coil. If I have the angle right, I believe this is a $27, $28 stock. Finger popped up a wedge sharply, but got to resistance and backed off. It tried to break out this morning and backed off again. So the key is short-term support at 330 needs to hold. It's pretty close to being breaking down, but a move above 4 breaks it back out, and the target then is 4 3/4 and 5.5. We put Hertz on today after moving up sharply on 15 million shares and gaining about 13%. I believe it might be a bottoming pattern, now targeting 6 and 7. MNMD exploded, broke out, pulled back, and formed a wedge. We put a swing on it. It did okay for a couple of weeks, but it backed off. Right near the apex of a wedge, it might even be construed as a falling wedge. Lateral price resistance, as a result, comes in now at the gap right there. Stop is under 7 1/4. Your targets are 11 and 13. MP forming an inverse head and shoulders, but the pullback from resistance at the declining tops line and lateral price resistance has me concerned that this action in here would break down. Stop is under 15. If it breaks out, 18, 19.5, and 21 are targets. MRNA finally broke out today with a big thrust, taking it from 107 to 129. Closed 124 and change. This was up a whopping 13 points, and it broke out across multiple tops. So the trend has changed on this one. My next target is 142. NNOX still in a falling wedge. A bit concerned that it looked like it was breaking out. It did not. And it's still in a pullback falling wedge with really flat technicals, which you want to see. What I need now is a pop that takes it above 10, and then it may be off to the races, targeting 12.5 and 14. Oscar, after breaking out and running, I think we put a swing on back in January, but again now it's broken out again. If it gets to right where it is, I'm looking for an extension that may get into the first low in the mid-20s. Pitney Bowes broke out today, and I want to show you the breakout because it comes out of a 2-year base pattern. I'm looking for 6 and 7.5. Sentinel 1 on the short side broke down. Bear coil broke down again. Now it's bear wedging, but take a look. Today's pop up and then pullback may be a failure. If that's the case, once it gets to 20, I'm looking for 18 and 17. ULBI broke out. We put a swing on it. It's going up nearly every day since, and today jumped another $1.03. I like to look at this one. I still think it's got up a shot at around 17. The targets were 14 and 17. Let's see if it makes it up to 14 early tomorrow or Monday. And finally, ZETA, beautiful rising channel. We put a pop on it, a swing on it when it popped. It then wedged, broke out, and pulled back today. Now, it looks like a bearish type of engulfing bar. So I don't want to see it below today's low of about 12.20. The target's 13.75 and 15 if it moves forward. And that's a look at the swing trades that are currently still active at thetechtrader.com. Bye, everybody.